This is McElveen, and this is Guided Practice in Math again. Let's take a look at our problem for today. Charles is making muffins. The recipe calls for 1/2 cup white flour and 3/4 cup whole wheat flour. He is making 2 batches, so he needs to double the amounts given in the recipe. What is the total amount of flour Charles will use? I'm going to read it again. Charles is making muffins. The recipe calls for 1/2 cup white flour and 3/4 cup whole wheat flour. He is making 2 batches, so he needs to double the amounts given in the recipe. What is the total amount of flour Charles will use? Okay, let me plan out my thinking. Remember to pause the video whenever you need to. I know that Charles is making some delicious muffins. The recipe calls for 1/2 cup white flour, 3/4 cup whole wheat flour, and he's making 2 batches. So he's going to make 1 tray of muffins and then another tray of muffins. It says he needs to double the amount. So I'm going to put 2 batches. Some important words. It talks about total amount of flour. When I'm getting a total, I'm putting things together. Let me scoot that over a little bit for you guys. So that means I'm going to add or I'm going to multiply. Now let me think about this. I know that he needs, I'm going to draw a little measuring cup. He needs 1/2 cup. This is white flour. And he needs, I'm going to make it slightly bigger because I know that 3/4 is a little bit bigger than 1/2. 3/4 cup whole wheat flour. And he's going to make 1 batch of muffins. That's 1 muffin tray. And then he's going to make another batch of muffins. That's another muffin tray. So he needs 1/2 of white for that batch and 1/2 of white for that batch. 1/2 of whole wheat for that batch, and 1/2 whole wheat for that batch. Or double, I should have written this up here to begin with, means times 2. You are doing something 2 times. I could multiply, I could also add, but I'm going to do these numbers twice to find out how much total flour he will use. So I have 1/2 plus 3/4. If I think about if I do a Twizzler, we'll do that today because we've been talking about that. If I do a Twizzler and I have a 0 and a 1 and 1/2, this is my Twizzler to 1/2. And then if I have another Twizzler that's 3/4, I divide this into 4 pieces now. There's my 3/4. I can already see if I'm putting 1/2 and 3/4 together, it's going to be a little bit, I'm going to put greater than 1. But I need to remember that I am doubling this recipe. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to go back to some of the work we did earlier in the year. I'm going to do this 2 times. I'm not actually going to multiply. The strategy I'm going to use is adding, because I'm more comfortable with adding fractions right now. So 1/2 plus 3/4. I have different denominators. I need to find my least common multiple. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 4, 4. Oh, wait, I've already found it. There we go. I'm not even doing any more work. Less work for myself. Looking back at my problem, I have a 2 as a denominator and a 4 as a denominator. I only need to change one of these fractions. Sweet. 1/2 is going to become something in fourths. 1/2 times 1 times 2 times 2 times 2. 1 times 2 is 2. I need to rewrite my problem. Instead of 1/2, I'm going to write 2/4 plus 3/4 equals 2 plus 3 is 5/4. 5/4 is greater than 1. This is a fraction greater than 1, or an improper fraction. Now, most of you are probably saying, oh, Mrs. McElveen, you need to change that into a mixed number. But remember, I need to double my recipe. So for now, I'm going to leave this as it is and double it. 5/4 plus 5/4 equals 10/4. So now I have my final improper fraction. I'm going to draw a picture of 10/4 to see what my mixed number would be. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 1 whole, 2 wholes, and 2/4. So 2 and 2/4. You guys are becoming masters at working with fractions. You should recognize right away that 2/4 can be simplified. 2 and 2/4, if I look at this that I drew right here, and I color it in like this, is the same thing as 2 and 1/2. Charles will need 2 1/2 cups of flour.